kids were taught early on to celebrate what makes them different? That's what one mother did with her daughter being her biggest inspiration. Joining us now is author of The Gift of Being Different. We have Monica Berg. Welcome, Monica.
Hi, thanks
Hi,
for having me.
we're happy to have you on. So tell us what inspired you to write this book with your daughter, I understand.
Yeah, so Abigail is the youngest of four, and we noticed her struggling, but really struggling in preschool, first grade, second grade. She still wasn't able to read or spell well. She had trouble in math, and she came to me one day shortly after we had her tested, and we had the diagnosis of dyslexia, but I hadn't shared with her yet because I wanted to find the right way to tell her. And she asked me the question before I could have this conversation with her. She said, "Mommy, do I need so much extra help because I'm stupid?"
Oh,
And that just broke my heart. And I thought, there's absolutely no way. First of all, that's my life's mission to help anybody who's in pain, but there's no way my daughter's going to grow up with that belief system about herself. And so we set out to write this book and show how we were able to transform and reframe this diagnosis to understand that it's really a superpower and see all the gifts and beauty that comes along with that difference.
well, I love that you were able to, in that moment, find a way to change the narrative and help other kids do that as well. So, what was it like writing the book with your daughter?
Inspiring. I learn from all four of my children in different ways. I very much see them as my teachers as well. I think that if you're doing life right, you learn from everybody in many different ways. And I just love seeing how she's able to advocate for herself now and really for others and find her voice. It took me a very long time to get there. And I remember at her age, I felt very insecure. You know, I had all the things that I've learned, I've tried to instill in them. So it's really been so inspiring, that process.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you're raising a little rock star. So, how do you hope this book inspires the kids who read it?
I really want to encourage everybody, and not just children, because a lot of parents have given me feedback as well, that we make a mistake in looking to see how everybody should be the same or a cookie cutter version of a way to learn or to live, when actually it's our differences, our uniqueness that is so interesting and so beautiful. And I want to encourage everybody to look for that, look for what's different in a way to bring us closer together. And I think when we do that, we're going to be living in a much happier world instead of thinking, oh, I need to hide those parts of myself that's not like everybody else. And we feel ashamed about that. And we create these powerful, often negative beliefs in childhood, and they impact the rest of our lives. So I hope that this book really makes people take pause and say, wait a second, I am different, and I want to learn how I can love that about myself and really show that to the world.
And Monica, you mentioned that you want kids and parents to have a positive takeaway from this. Why is it so important to have open communication between parents and children?
It really is. Kids grow up and eventually they're going to see the whole picture. And often people come to me and they say, my children, I have three children. This just happened recently. Somebody said that they have three children and each of them have something different that they need help with in school and different things. And they haven't told the children yet. And do I think that's okay? And I said, well, these kids are probably aware that they need extra help or that they are different. And by you not having the conversation with them, you're giving them the feedback, even if it's not vocalized, that there's something that shouldn't be discussed or there's something wrong with them on some level. So I really believe in open communication. There's nothing that you can't talk about, but I think first the parent has to be clear on how they feel about it, remove any fear or any uncertainty or worry around a diagnosis or a conversation, and really approach the child with, how do you feel about this situation? There's something that you want to talk about. I really believe in transparency. And it gives the child permission to be vulnerable as well.
Right. And do you have any other suggestions for how to talk to children about what makes them different or what makes other kids different?
I think the power of empathy is huge. And I think that when we start to talk about the things that maybe we're embarrassed about or that things are different, we give permission for other people to show up as themselves as well, and to have that exchange and that openness. And really, it creates an environment where nobody's so busy trying to hide the different parts of themselves and only showing the part that we think is acceptable, but we allow ourselves to explore all of the things that we can be and are meant to become and really reach our full potential.
All very helpful tips. Monica, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And for more info and to get your copy of Monica's book, visit rethinklife.today.